The glass horizon. The neon lights of the city don't look like stars tonight. They look like prey. You stand on the sidewalk, the familiar, rhythmic thrum of the casino's ventilation system vibrating through your sneakers. Your hands are shoved deep into your pockets, fingers curling around a folded stack of bills, the money that was supposed to be for your rent, your car insurance, your future. Your heart is doing that thing again, that frantic, staccato dance against your ribs. It's the hunger, the itch, the voice in your head whispering that this is the night the algorithms break, the night the luckiest streak of your life begins. You take a step toward the glass doors. The air outside is cold, but the air inside is manufactured, sterile, and sweet. You know the layout by heart, the flashing colors that mimic sunlight, the lack of clocks, the way the carpet pattern seems to move if you stare at it long enough. But today, you stop. You don't walk through those doors. Instead, you turn around, walking 3 blocks in the opposite direction until you reach the quiet, nondescript door of a brick building. You have an appointment. You've spent the last 6 months losing pieces of yourself to the machines, and today you are desperate enough to try something different. The office of Dr. Eris is nothing like the chaos you just left. It is painted in muted shades of sage and eggshell. There is no music, only the soft hum of an air purifier. When you sit in the oversized leather chair, you feel exposed. You are 23, and you feel as though you have aged decades in the last year. I don't know if this works, you admit, your voice cracking slightly. I feel like I'm wired to lose. Dr. Eris sits across from you, his expression steady, neither judging nor pitying. Gambling isn't a personality trait, and it isn't a lack of willpower, he says. It's a broken feedback loop in the brain. We aren't going to fix your luck. We are going to fix your relationship with the noise. He asks you to close your eyes. You hesitate, then comply. You listen to the sound of his voice, calm and rhythmic, like a tide pulling back from the shore. Focus on your breath, he says. In, out. With every breath, imagine the weight of the city, the lights, the sirens, the urgency, falling away from your shoulders. You are not the person who walks into that casino. You are the person who walks past it. He instructs you to visualize the machine. You see the screen, the flashing cherries, the spinning wheels, the digital gold coins raining down. But Dr. Eris asks you to alter the scene. He tells you to pull back the lens. You see the machinery behind the screen, the cold, lifeless copper wiring, the lines of ruthless code designed to drain you, the empty eyes of the people sitting in the rows, the realization that you are feeding a hungry, hollow glass god that doesn't know you exist. There is no win, he says, his voice grounding you. The win is a phantom. The loss is the only certainty. When you feel the urge, feel it as a cold wind. It blows toward you and it blows past you. It does not touch you. You are the observer, not the participant. He speaks of your true life, the one you've been neglecting. He talks about the feeling of waking up without thief, at heavy, leaden stone of debt in your stomach. He talks about the freedom of a bank account that belongs to you, not to a corporation that builds fortunes on your despair. You drift in that state, the borderland between sleep and wakefulness. You feel a strange, cool detachment. For the first time in months, the frantic noise in your head goes quiet. It is the silence of a calm sea after a storm. The weeks that follow are not easy, but they are different. The first time you walk past the casino after the session, the urge hits you like a physical shove. Your pulse spikes. Your hand goes to your pocket. But then you remember the image Dr. Eris put in your mind. The cold, dead wires, the hollow, soulless code. You see the casino not as a palace of possibility, but as a dull, mechanical trap. You take a breath, and you remember the feeling of the leather chair, the cool, quiet space of your own mind. You keep walking. You pass the entrance, your stride steady, your eyes fixed on the horizon of the city, not the floor beneath your feet. You find yourself doing things you haven't done in years. You go to the park. You pick up a book you haven't opened since college. You start a ledger, not a record of losses, but a record of gains. You save $5, $20, $50. You watch the numbers in your bank account grow, and for the first time, they represent security instead of a wager. You find that you are reclaiming your time. You aren't losing 4 hours at a machine anymore. You are using those 4 hours to learn to cook, to call your mom, to walk until your legs ache in a way that feels good and honest. You realize that the thrill you were chasing was never about money. It was about the desire to be more, to be lucky, to be chosen, to be special. You realize that you don't need a jackpot to be special. You are special because you are the one who looked at the void and decided to stop feeding it. 6 months later, you stand at the edge of the city limits. You have a small savings account, a steady job, and a clarity of mind you thought you'd lost forever. You look back at the skyline, glowing with that familiar, predatory neon. You feel a ripple of that old temptation, a faint echo, like a ghost of a radio signal. But it's quiet, it's small, it has no power over you anymore. You can look at the gold lights and see them for exactly what they are, lights, just glass, electricity, and greed. You feel a sense of profound hope. It's not the frantic, dangerous hope of a gambler. It's the quiet, steady hope of a gardener. You have planted a new life, and you will nurture it day by day, cent by cent, choice by choice. You turn your back on the casino. You walk into the dark, quiet street, the air crisp and real against your skin. You aren't going to win the jackpot tonight. You've already won. You won your life back, and that, you realize, is the only bet that ever really mattered. You are sitting in the chair, the one that has cradled your restlessness for weeks, and finally you decide to let the weight go. Outside your window, the world of young adulthood continues its frantic, blurred pace. There are emails to answer, futures to architect, and the crushing expectation to have it all figured out by Tuesday. But here, in this quiet room, you are allowed to stop. Take a deep breath, inhale the stillness, and as you exhale, let your shoulders drop away from your ears. Feel the tension, that persistent knot of not good enough, begin to loosen its grip. You are going to close your eyes now. As you do, you aren't just shutting out the light, you are turning your gaze inward, toward the version of yourself that lives beneath the noise. Imagine, if you will, a staircase. It is wide, made of smooth, cool wood, and it leads downward into a space of absolute safety. You are standing at the top. There are 10 steps. With each number I count, you feel yourself drifting further away from the pressures of the surface and deeper into the calm waters of your own potential. 10. The world behind you grows dim, the hum of expectations fading into a soft, indistinct murmur. 9. You feel heavier, more grounded. Your limbs are beginning to feel like lace, light and airy, yet perfectly supported. 8. Every muscle in your face softens. You stop clenching your jaw. You stop worrying about the curvature of your smile or the shape of your words. 7. 6. Deepening now. You are drifting into a place where the clock doesn't tick and the calendar doesn't dictate your value. 5. You are halfway there. You feel a sense of clarity washing over you, a cool stream of perspective. You realize that the pressure you feel is not a wall, but a scaffolding. It is meant to hold you up, not cage you in. 4. 3. You are entering the sanctuary of your own subconscious. Here, the critic in your head, the one that whispers about your failures or your indecision, is silenced. There is only the hum of your own heartbeat, steady and rhythmic. 2. You are reaching the bottom. The air here smells like rain and fresh beginnings. It is the smell of a blank notebook, of an open road, of a possibility you haven't yet dared to name. 1. You are here. You are completely relaxed, completely open, and entirely ready to rewrite the narrative. In this space, you are not the sum of your anxieties. You are the architect of your own peace. Look around this inner landscape. See the seeds you've planted, the skills you've learned, the kindnesses you've shown, the resilience you've built, even when you didn't feel brave. Repeat this to yourself, not as a mantra, but as a truth. I am a work in progress, and that is a masterpiece in itself. You are young, and the horizon is vast. You don't need to reach it by tomorrow. You don't need to be everything to everyone. You only need to be the person who is learning to trust their own rhythm. Feel the warmth of that realization spreading through your chest, anchoring you. You are enough. Not once you achieve your goals, not once you have the job or the status, but right now, in this state of quiet intention. When you eventually open your eyes, you will carry this anchor with you. You will move through the rush of the city and the demands of your day, but you will do so with a secret. You know how to return to this stillness. You know that no matter how loud the world gets, you have a private room in your soul where you can always find your way home. The exhaustion is gone, replaced by a quiet, vibrating energy. You are awake to the possibility of your own life. Soon, I will count from 1 to 5. At 5, your eyes will open and you will feel refreshed, alert, and profoundly hopeful. 1. You are becoming aware of your breathing again. 2. You start to feel the texture of the chair beneath you. 3. You flex your fingers, feeling the circulation returning, alive and ready. 4. You are carrying the peace of this place into the world outside. 5. Open your eyes. Welcome back. Take a moment. The world hasn't changed, but you have, and that changes everything.